Day two. Everyone, go check out my new channel or my new video. I just dropped a hit. This from yesterday's stream.
Street cleaners will
Get hit with the ads. First thing, first off the gate. A 16. Go like that for myself. Oh, not signed in. You're only 16, right, Roy? Right?
15.
Oh, you're 15? Okay, we got a 15-year-old. Everyone, go tune into this one. I hope this one's gonna hit. But what are we gonna do today? What's the stream about? It's gonna be day 2 of building out my website. Gonna keep building out the features. Gonna learn more about Vercel. Gonna learn more about Tailwind CSS. Gonna clean up the code. I think that's the main focus of today's. Just improving that code base. Understanding the technologies it was built off, because I just vibe coded the whole thing. And yeah, learn some new things today. I think that's pretty much the main goal. Got my protein. Let's get this thing started. So we're gonna learn a bit of Tailwind CSS. We're gonna learn a little bit about Vercel. Docs. I think. Yo, what's up? Yes, I am. It's good so far. Do you work there? Filters. See. Let me get the chat up. Pop it out. Properties. Oh, really? So did the recruiter reach out, or you were talking to a recruiter? Let everyone get the noti. Were you talking to a recruiter? You're already sort of in the process? It's a slow day today. Oh, you working at Microsoft? What do you not like about my working at Microsoft though? I have a friend in there. Like, why do you want to dip there so bad? Everybody's on vacation today. Everyone's actually taking the day off today. Ah, I see. Trying to get that TC up, huh? Where are you based? Yeah, Meta did layoffs too in February. Oh, you're in the DMV? Do they pay less if you live in the DMV versus living in Seattle or living in SF Bay Area? DMV. Need to learn about Next.js. Somebody said the docs here are really good. So welcome to the Next.js framework or documentation. What is Next.js? Next.js is a React framework for building full stack web applications. You use React components to build user interfaces and Next.js for additional features and optimizations. It also automatically configures lower level tools like bundlers and compilers. You can instead focus on building your product and shipping quickly. Whether you're an individual or part of a larger team, Next.js can help you build interactive, dynamic, and fast React applications. So it handles the bundlers and compilers. Need to write some notes. Troll, what other Troll Toll or something? Sorry, I messed up your name. What other companies would you want to work at besides Meta? And are you pretty good at LeetCode? The docs are organized into 4 sections. Getting started, which is step-by-step tutorials to help you create a new application. Wow, that's a lot. What about how much work experience do you have? How long you been working in the industry? Oh, so you're still fairly new. Okay, that's why you're interviewing for E4. How are you with system design and stuff? So step-by-step tutorials to help you create new applications and learn the core Next.js features. I see. Nice. Then we have guides, deep dives, API references. App router and page router. Next.js has 2 different routers. The app router, the new router that supports new React features like server components, and pages route, the original router, still supported and being improved. Okay, would you even switch if it's not Fang though? How does Capital One pay? Is the pay really good too? I've never interviewed there or looked them up before. Yeah, Hello Interviews goated. Yo, Microsoft stock has just go up and up and up though. That's the thing. So it's like a great company to be at. So Next.js has two different routers. The app router, the new router that supports the new React features like server components, and Pages router. Okay. I don't know anything about these two, but we're gonna keep reading. Prerequisite knowledge. I'm gonna just read this whole documentation top to bottom. Should I start at app router? What should I learn? App router or Pages router? Troll, do you know anything about Next.js? Like, what technologies do you use right now? App router is the wave? Okay. Let me look this up. What the heck is this? In Next.js. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. It figured it out. Thank you. So Pages router, this is the traditional. So traditional Pages directory. Which Next.js do I have though? Oh, I have Next 15. So this is way updated. From the beginning of Next.js, directory pages, key features, file-based routing. Each file in Pages becomes a route. Routing is based on React components. Uses get static props, get server-side props for data fetching. Supports dynamic routing. Client-side navigation. The new app router, introduced in 13 plus. You have an app directory built on React server components. Enables hybrid rendering, server plus client. Uses layouts, templates, and nesting route. Built in support for loading states, error handling, and parallel routes. Uses Pages layout error. Okay, what do I do? Okay, we use the app. Okay, I'm definitely using this app router thing. So I'm gonna just keep using app router. I don't need to learn all that old stuff if that's not even really being used and it's not the wave right now. I'm still learning all this. Next.js, I built this, if for reference, I built all this, vibe coded it. I didn't know how it works, so now I'm actually spending the time understanding my code, understanding the technologies that we used to build it, and just getting a deep understanding because I mean this website is gonna be my website forever, so I need this thing to keep on running. So I'm just gonna use like all the new technologies, Next.js. And I need it to be better than my brother's website. Let's see. John Broad, the CFA website. I need it to be better than that. Prerequisite. Our documentation assumes some familiarity with web development. Before getting started, it'll help if you're comfortable with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. Yeah, I'm already kind of familiar with those. I've worked with it for 4 years. If you're new to React or need a refresher, we recommend starting with our React. Oh, they have their own React Foundations crash course. This is cool. I should probably do this to familiarize myself with React because it's just been a while since I actually read the documentation. I work with this stuff all day, a lot, but this is it's always good to go back and just refresh yourself on everything. Oh, and they do it all. Interesting. And they have a Next.js Foundations. Use templates for my website? No, this is my code. I built I pretty much vibe coded the whole website. So I didn't use templates. I straight built it from scratch. You could see all my other streams where I design all the different pages. But then we have analytics. There's no template being used. Wait, I'll move this chat to the side real quick. If you want to see what my website looks. This is what my website looks like right now. No, I didn't really use templates. So there's like a login feature. You can sign in to log in with Google. Go back. You can see my upload frequency. You can see all my different videos. I don't know why it's not loading properly. Yeah. Well, I don't know what, I use Cursor, right? And Cursor allows you to use all types of different models. Oh, it literally popped up day one. Oh no, this was from yesterday. I already was vibe coding this website before. But yeah, this is my website. Let's keep understanding the code. Accessibility. For the best experience when you're using this, we recommend using Firefox, NVIDIA, or Safari and VoiceOver. Okay, let's learn Next.js Foundations. This is the Next.js Foundations course. Welcome to the Next.js Foundations course. In this free interactive course, you'll learn the main features of Next.js by building a full stack web application. What? There's a whole... Oh, my brother should do this. This is like a whole different stream for a different day. Yeah, I'm just going to read the docs. This is way too much work. All I literally need to do is skim the docs to really understand what's doing. This is like a whole different stream for a different day. I'll write this down. Maybe I'll do a stream for this if people are or a video for this because if people are interested. Let me look it up. That's like a separate video on its own. Let's just straight read the docs. Second, I'm gonna quickly wash out this thing. Give me a second. Yo, who saw my latest video of that I just dropped? It's gonna bang. Yo, this video's gonna go crazy.
Your home equity could help you find a way out. And
Yo, this 15. I didn't even timestamp this video. 16-year-old. You're only 16, right, Roy?
15.
Oh, you're 15? Okay, we got a 15-year-old coder. Can you give us quick background on
timestamp this
background on
video.
your. Well, let me wash out my bottle real quick.
Loop through these.
I'm gonna wash out my bottle real quick, and then we're gonna get right to reading the docs. Give me a sec. How is it compared to LeetCode? Substring that doesn't have string given. So I'll explain it quickly. We're pretty much given a string, right? Like string here, a string S, and we need to return the longest substring that doesn't have duplicate characters. So you see this substring right here is ABC. This is the longest substring, and it's not ABCA because there's A appears twice, right? So we need to look for the longest substring, and a substring is contiguous elements side by side that are pretty much just find the longest length sequence inside of the word that doesn't have duplicate characters. I'm pretty sure you understand it. I'll let you go ahead and read that and just ask me if you have any questions.
Yes. Is it constraints 10 to the power of 4?
Yeah, 10 to the power of 4.
Okay. Okay. I think I pretty much understand it.
What are you thinking?
So right now, okay, so the first thought that came into my mind was a brute force approach. Basically, I would just try every single possible solution, right?
Yeah.
And then I would use a nested for loop. So while I'm generating every single possible substrings, I would use a hash map or an array to store the current scene characters, and then if it already contains the character using that substring, I would basically not use it, I guess, and then move on. But looking at it now, since the constraint is 10 to the power of 4, using a nested for loop would be TLE, I think. So I think I'm going to use a two-pointer approach, basically a sliding window approach
Okay.
here.
And how would that work on example 1?
For example 1, I would create a variable called left. I would set it to 0, and then meanwhile I would just loop through the string, and then while I'm looping, I'm gonna check if the current
We're cooked. If this guy's could do this question, this guy's going crazy.
substring I already for loop has the current character, and if it does, I would.
Yo, Rafi, what's up? Ooh, this is good. Trust me, I'm not sponsored by this. This is like a drink that they have in the meta fridge. Life cider. I'm chilling. Building out the website even more. Have you been on the stream when I'm building out this website? Let's see. I just gotta timestamp this video real quick. Show y'all how to do that. What's TI? What's TI? What's TI? TikTok or? Just find you the right.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on take.
Can hit the addies.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money.
This thing is glitching. If you hit that point, it's gonna show the ad every time? Is that how it works? Alright, I got you the first. Okay, let me find you the right question. Alright, I got 447. Wait, what's that? 447. Question 1. What question was this? Q1. What's
I think-
this question? Okay.
So already there.
Takes in
Basically,
longest substring without duplicates. Given a string S, find the longest substring without duplicate characters. Yep, here's the one. Wow, this is the third leak code question ever.
a sliding window approach
Okay,
here.
and how would that work on like, hey everyone, so today we have a that's not the and then back it we're tables and spinning. You could tells us how much gold we need to we're getting gold lead code. So I haven't looked at the chat. Oh shoot. Oh, Texas Instruments. Rafi, have you tried that question? It's a good question. This 1219. This is one of my favorite questions, honestly, for backtracking. Yeah. Did you already solve it before that, or just
Okay,
like from my
so-
stream? And you're already good at hitting the prompt. I like that.
Okay.
GPT. Grow up using GPT already. Go ahead. Just.
So that's when I create a 2D Boolean array. I can just do.
You need to see out the answer. 4.
Oh,
How was that?
would have got it.
How do you think you did?
Okay.
Nice. Okay, just added some timestamps, added some chapters. See how it works. Hey everyone, so today we have a. Hey everyone, so today we have a. Nice, you practice it with the candidates, huh? It's pretty cool. Rafi, where are you interviewing for? In. Alright, I got you the first question. I'm gonna post this in. So we're pretty much getting it. We're gonna be Texas Instruments. That's crazy. That company's still alive. I don't think you're missing anything out. Hey everyone, so today we have a... Alright, I got you the first question. I'm going to post this in. Chapter 2. So we're pretty much we're going to be given a grid. We're going to be given a gold mine. And we need to figure out... How do you think you did?
Okay.
How was that for you?
The first.
Just making sure the timestamps are there. This question is goated. How do you think you did? 54:28 is that last timestamp, and we're gonna get right back to what we were doing. Yo, Paul, what's up? Nice to see you again. How is it in meta? What? Okay, James, YouTube channel, grinding my way through coding, hoping to land a job in cybersecurity in the future. Welcome to the channel. What do you mean by how is it in meta? Like, could you be more specific with that question? Paul, how's the React and stuff going? How's your portfolio website going? Lip is getting dry out here. What did you build it with, Paul? Like, what technologies? Okay, let's read this doc top to bottom. Nice. Cursor next. I like that. Oh, like how was getting into it? It was a good experience, honestly. I really enjoyed the interview process at Meta because it was just straight leak code. Leak code and system design. It was more typical. It was similar to what you actually prepared for, versus some companies they just ask you something random. So I like doing multiple questions in the interview. They like to do 2 questions in the span of one interview, and I like how they spam the questions, and it's focused on more of speed. I know Paul would like it. So we need Next.js, macOS. The quickest way to create Next is using Create Next app, which just creates everything for you. Hit you with the OS questions. Who asked you OS? What is your project named? Would you like to use TypeScript? Would you like to use ESLint? Would you like to use Tailwind? Would you like to use your code inside a source? Would you like to use the app router? Okay. Sam, what's up? Samuel, nice to see you. Is this the docs that I need to read? And Samuel, are you back working on your website again today too? Alright, I'm gonna just read this whole thing. And it's gonna be the Knicks game today, the Knicks playoff game, so I'm excited about that. Paul, do you still hate front end or you like it? what next button? Oh, like this? It's too easy for you? Let's see. I see. I don't know. I still love doing full stack to this day. I think it's just like, yeah, I like doing full stack for some reason. I don't like working on things that are fully back end because you don't really get to see, like a lot of times you don't really get to see the product. And I like to solve things like from a product perspective too, so that's kind of why I'm more into full stack. But yeah. Oh, I'm never manually creating. Honestly, but when it's such a really big app, even these LLMs, you can't just keep vibe coding. Yeah, what Samuel said. Samuel's working on a really complicated website. Okay, let me change my fave icon right now. I keep getting this. Where do you change it? So funny. Okay, where's the fave icon? Let me just delete that fave icon real quick. I don't have my own icon though. Where's this? Layout. Should I just straight up delete this? Should I straight up just delete this fave icon? How come no one's even... Where does it even get used? I don't see it. Maybe it's like deep within the library, it knows how to use that. Let's look up. Add a fave image to the root app route segment. Oh, so you need to... If you want... If you want to change this thing, you need to change... You need to actually create a fave icon, not just a regular icon. Whatever, I'm just gonna, let's come up, let me figure out, okay, I'm gonna just use my face. I'll literally just use my face for my website. Well, because I've already done a lot of create or just regular React Vite single page applications. So I need to switch it up and learn something like Next.js. That's kind of my rationale there. Is it slow? Why is it fast, Sam? Let's see. Yeah, server-side rendering. Also, the main thing is now it could be indexed by search engines, right? Body HTML. Place your fave icon file in the public directory of your project. No, I'll change this fave icon thing later. Let me finish this doc. Manual installation. All of the different packages. What's the? Why are people saying it's slow? Can okay, they're saying it's just hard to develop with and stuff. The main thing I was thinking why it might actually be slow is because it has to make calls, like it has to make network requests for stuff instead of just doing stuff locally. But I don't know what the trade-off in terms of speed would be there. So we have next starts the development server build. Okay. Next.js uses file system routing, which means the routes in your application are determined by how you structure your files. Create an app folder, then inside an app, create a layout.tsx. This file is the root layout and is required and must contain an HTML and body tags. Okay, that's literally what I had here, the layout file. Didn't they also find a hack on Next? Some really bad vulnerability. So pretty much create an app here, Oh, right on the auth middleware that I just implemented on my website? I swear. But it's fixed, but did anyone get hacked? Did anyone lose money? Okay, bumped up yesterday. No one impacted. How'd they find it? So we have this layout. It's in the app folder, app layout, and it's a root layout. It's required, and this actually returns the HTML and body. That makes sense. So it's wrapping the body, video provider, nav bar, and the main. Okay, so it's kind of wrapping all of our content. That makes sense. It's wrapping all of our content and then rendering the children inside of there. And we're using some Tailwind CSS. Paul, what's your what tech stack do you prefer? Create a home page with some initial content. What's the Minesweeper site? The one, the alpha build? So we have different rate mocks. We have some login. We have page. We have videos. Oh, if you include it, if you create a folder, that creates the different routes. But if you do page TSX, that's the root. So that's like if you just go like that. Both layout TSX and page TSX will be rendered when the user visits the root of your application. Good to know. If you forget to create the root layout, Next.js will automatically create this file without running the development server with Next.dev. You can optionally use a source folder in the root of your project to separate your application's code from the configuration files. Okay, then we also have Google Guy, what's up? Yes, sir, I got the domain. www.jamesperalta.com. I have it still. Locked it in. I have login and stuff working too, so if you want to log into the website. Yo, your links don't show up. Yo, Google Guy, how you been? What have you been up to? How do you know what a White Claw is? No, I'm drinking this Life Cider. It's an energy drink. I'm not sponsored though. Let's see what CFA is up to. What's his haircut? Are you in school right now, or you're finished? So create a public folder at the root of your project to store static assets such as images, fonts, files inside can be referenced by your code starting with the base URL. Then you can reference these assets using the root, for example. Okay. That makes sense. So we have a couple. Public is where we're going to store all of our assets. We have like some SVGs and stuff. Run the development server. Run the npm run dev to start the development server. Visit. Edit the page.tsx to see it update in real time. My app.tsx is right here. Yeah, I'm familiar with TypeScript. I've used TypeScript in my previous jobs. Why? What's up? And these are all in TypeScript, right? Yeah, these are all in TypeScript. These are all typed. You can see. So this is my home section. We have the div. We have a hero section, the video section. Latest videos and popular videos. This is sick. Okay. Nice. So Next.js comes with built-in TypeScript support. That's cool. Vane, what's good? That would be so funny. Yo, that YCOM dude is in Colombia right now. I'm asking what he's up to. Rename a file to .ts and then run dev. Next, we'll automatically install the necessary dependencies and add a tsconfig. Wow. When you call next dev and you just refile, you create a TS or TSX file. That's funny. How would you suggest getting better at tree recursion problems, backtracking as a whole? I think, yeah, just spam them. Draw out the recursion tree. Make sure you're really comfortable with recursion first and foremost. I think just practice very simple ones and spend like a whole week doing tree and recursion problems. And start by very basic ones such as pathsum, and then go all the way to more complicated ones such as that gold mine one that I asked that 15-year-old, or Sudoku one. But start off with the most simple backtracking algorithms that you need. Yeah, I read it, Google guy. You're American. How do you know White Claw? Next.js includes a custom TypeScript plugin and type checker, which VS Code and other code editors can use for advanced type checking and auto completion. You can enable the plugin in VS Code by going Command-Shift-P, search for TypeScript, select TypeScript version. Okay, Next.js comes with built-in ESLint. Well, I barely care about this setup stuff. I'll worry about that setup stuff later. Okay, but I care about these. Set up absolute imports and module path aliases. Next.js has built-in support for paths and base URL options in the tsconfig JSON. These options allow you to alias project directories to absolute paths and make it easier and cleaner. Yeah, I honestly like this better, that type of importing. Oh, it looks like my website already has that type of importing. Yeah, I like that type of importing. Wow, that's cool. To configure absolute imports, add the base URL configuration option to okay, interesting. Okay, this is Samuel. This is what you mean by we can create it ourselves. Okay, this is juicy part. Understanding the project structure. Ferrari. No, I'm kidding. I have a basic Mazda 3. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a Ferrari. Mazda 3. Just wait till I show, till I do an apartment tour too. Y'all are gonna laugh at my studio. I'm gonna drop a video of my. I'm gonna do an apartment tour. It's gonna be hilarious. No, I've been living in SF and I'm not gonna move. Send it in Discord, and later tonight I'm gonna be streaming. Later tonight I'm gonna be streaming again, and we're gonna be doing more resume reviews and talking about career stuff. Yes, sir. How's the commute to MP? It's not bad. Yo, I wish. If ever I had to do a trip to Bali and I was gonna pay for everyone, I'd try to get sponsors to sponsor all the subs. And then y'all are gonna be, and I'm gonna content farm the crap out of it. Just to make the money back too. Oh, I'm just kidding. Nah, like if I yeah, true. You have to get some content out of it. It was so funny when the 15-year-old came on. He's like, "Are you 6?" First, I'm like, "Are you 16?" And he's like, he said 15. My eyes lit up even more. I know it's gonna get some more views that he's 1 year younger too. Let's see. Yeah, Roy's a savage. Let's see. Yeah, 600 leak code questions, done a ton of code forces. I'm gonna grab something. This page provides an overview of all the folder and file conventions in Next.js and recommendations for organizing your project. The thing I like about Next.js is it forces you to follow a very specific folder structure, and that allows you to easily find code. I found with like just regular single page applications, the code could just get so complicated and anyone could build it in whatever file structure that they want, and it ends up between companies or between code bases, it's hard to figure out where things are exactly. But I like companies that force you, and even frameworks that force you to do things in a specific way. It's similar between Django and Express. You can build Express servers in completely different ways that you want, but Django kind of forces you to do. Have you done? Yeah, I'm already. Dude, I was going crazy. I pumped out probably 10 tickets or something so far. I don't know if I could talk about my project though, honestly. I need to look at the NDAs and all that stuff. But yo, I already onboarded and I'm already starting to actually try to be productive. Top level folders are used. Mustafa, what's good? Google guy, you're 15 or? Hey James, I've been watching you for a bit now. Doing a great job. Got to pull up on one of your mock interviews. Yo, FDK, thanks for joining in. So top level folders are used to organize your application's code and static assets. So the top level folder, okay, the top level folder in source, that makes sense. We have the app, the lib, the context. What's going on here? Damn, this thing is like, has carbon in it. carbonated. Yo, what's the NDA song? So source, top level, okay. Subaj, what's up? Yo, thanks for tuning in. Long time no see. Respect. Love you, bro. Thanks for the donation. Yo, John's so funny. The first thing he did was hop in and he was talking about he needs money, so he put a donate button on his website. Yeah, he's just trolling. I don't know about Rich. He just has money. He's done. I don't know about Rich, but he does not need a donation button. I think he's just doing that just for just cause. Let's see. So top level files. Top level files are used to configure application, manage your dependencies, run middleware, integrate monitoring tools, and define John tried to stream before. I'm gonna get him. Oh, what? I'm gonna be back. We're gonna be streaming together soon. Probably in like a week. I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. Pause. I work on a team called Human Evaluations. Let's see. App, router, pages. I see. Yeah, I'm on app router right now, Sam. So top level files are used to configure applications, manage dependencies, run middleware, integrate monitoring tools, and define variables. Where's the top level files? That makes sense. Routing files. Okay. We have the layout. We have the page. We have the loading UI. We have the not found UI. Do these just get routed too if things happen? So if it's not found. Oh, wait. Okay, whatever. We have the layout. We have the page. We have the loading UI. We have the not found, the error. We have the global. We have the API endpoint. We have the template. Okay. Route segment. Nested route segment. We have dynamic routes. Catch-all routes. Optional catch-all route. What's your work hours been? Probably... Where do the votes go when we vote? It goes nowhere. Did you try it? It goes nowhere yet. What are my work hours? Probably around 8 to 10 hours a day so far. But I'm going to fix that. I'm going to make these rate mocks and analytics a gated feature. And then once they're gated, they're going to be gated by login. I'm going to start capturing all the votes and we're going to have like a voting system. Group routes. Okay. Next.js is unopinionated about how you organize and co-locate your project files, but it does provide several features to help you organize your project. The components defined in the special files are rendered in a specific hierarchy. The layout, the template, the error, the loading, the not found, and the page. Okay. So it loads them in this order. These components are rendered recursively in nested routes, meaning the components of a route segment will be nested inside the components of its parent. The error boundary. Yeah, that's kind of cool. As someone who doesn't work too much in front end, what do you think is the best projects to work? Sam, can you answer this? I don't know either. Most of the projects I work on are just projects or ideas that I have, and I just decide to work on it. Like if I have an idea that I think could make me money or that people are gonna use, I build it. I don't really try to build stuff just to get better. I don't know if that sounds greedy or... In the app directory, nested folders define the route structure. Each folder represents a route segment that is mapped to a corresponding segment. In the app directory, nested folders define the route structure. Each folder represents a route that is mapped to a corresponding segment. So we hit source. App. The break. So this is the break route and it hits this alarm or page.txt. So you have to, for the different routes, you have to do page.tsx is what actually renders the thing in there. Even though route structure is defined through folders, a route is not publicly accessible until a page.js or route.js is added to a route segment. Okay. What's route.js do? What's the difference between route.js and page? This means that project files can be safely co-located inside route segments in the app without accidentally being routable. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because you don't want to get to those. I see. So only these ones are actually routable, the page.tsx. These ones are only routable. When you co-locate your project files in app, you don't have to. If you prefer, you can keep them outside the app directory. Sam, I think one thing too that's actually interesting about this is one thing that's kind of slow with single page applications is that it pretend to have a really big single page application, right? Doesn't have to send all the JavaScript to the person's computer, and the bundle size could be huge. Does Next.js help with that problem because the bundle sizes are small because it's just sending like one page at a time whenever it's needed? And it doesn't need to load in all the JavaScript code and all the things. It just does. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Private folders can be created by prefixing a folder with an underscore folder name. This indicates that the folder is a private implementation detail and should not be considered by the routing system. Therefore, by opting the folder and out of routing. Okay, that makes sense. Do I have any... Okay, that's what this underscore is. That's what these underscore components are. Since the files in the app directory can be safely co-located by default, private folders are not required for co-location. However, they can be useful for separating UI logic from routing logic. Okay. Consistently organizing internal files across a project and the Next.js ecosystem. While not a framework convention, you might also consider making files outside private folders as private using the same underscore pattern. You can create URL segments that start with the underscore by prefixing the folder name. Okay. Whatever, I don't care that much about this. I think the most interesting part is how it renders recursively your page, but it renders like all the things above it, like the layout, the error boundary. That's the stuff that I like so far. So route groups can be created by wrapping a folder in a parentheses. This indicates that the folder is for organizational purposes and should not be included in the route's URL path. I see. So if you want to... Okay, so if you don't want that to be included in the URL path, you can wrap it. There's so much of these weird little things in order to get it working. Like these route groups. Paul, did you already buy a domain? Let me see your site. Get some more water. Okay, route groups, whatever. Route groups are useful for organizing routes by site section, intent, or team. Enabling nested routes. I don't think my thing is that complicated where I need to even care about this. Next.js supports storing application code, including app, inside of an optional source folder. That's what I'm doing already. This separates application code from project configuration files, which mostly live in the root of a project. Yep, that makes sense. I'm used to this, where all the config files are in the root of the project and you have a source. Examples. The following section lists a very high-level overview of common strategies. The simplest takeaway is to choose a strategy that works for you and your team and be consistent about your project. In our examples, okay, I already have a layout though. Do I need to care about this? Whatever. Let's just read it. Store project files outside of app. The strategy stores all application code in shared folders in the root of your project and keeps the app directory purely for routing purposes. Store project files outside of your app. What is this? Do I need to read this? Let's just skip over to the next part. Yeah, but I have some other stuff in here. I have components in here too. So I have components out here. It's so weird. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I have components out here, but then I have components within the actual one. So maybe I'm thinking we have components on the very outside and these are more shared. Yo, Alex, I'm working on a Next.js app. Hold on, my lips are getting dry. Damn, it's already 3:21. Yeah, next year I'm just learning about it right now, learning about the file structure and stuff. It's pretty good so far. So how to create layouts and pages. Next.js uses file-based routing, meaning you can use folders and files to define routes. This page will guide you through how to create layouts and pages and link between them. A page is a UI that is rendered on a specific route. To create a page, add a page file inside the app directory and default export a React component. Okay. So what do we have that so far? Yep. What's up? What's up? Who's dropping all the hearts? What's up? What's up? Creating a layout. I see. A layout is a UI that is shared between multiple pages. On navigation, layouts preserve state, remain interactive, and do not re-render. You can define a layout by default exporting a React component from a layout file. The component should accept children, which can be a page or another layout. For example, to create a layout that accepts your index page as child, add a layout inside the app directory. Okay, very simple. That makes sense. That's what I'm doing. That's what my layout page looks right here. And what it does is it has a provider and it specifies the nav bar. The layout above is called the root layout because it is defined at the root of the app directory. The root layout is required and must contain HTML and body tags. Creating a nested route. A nested route is a route composed of multiple URL segments. For example, the blog slug route is composed of 3 segments: the root, the blog, and the slug. In Next.js, folders are used to define the route segments that map to URL segments. Files like page and layout are used to create UI layout that is shown for a segment. Folders are used to define the route segments that map to URL segments. What? Let me. What's it called? Where's that? I'm at a. Bring out my standing desk. There's like some glare. That's right here. Block the glare. So, folders are used to define route segments that map to URL segments. Files like page are used to create UI. To create nested routes, you can nest folders inside of each other. So this is the, okay, this is the blog. And then we have blog page.tsx. You can continue nesting folders to create nested routes. Okay. Create a new slug folder inside to add a page file. You literally call it slug. You literally just actually say slug, or you can name it ID or something. Or I guess you probably want to use the normal format. A dynamic route, which is used to generate multiple pages from data. How do we do that here? Well, this goes
completely blacked out when I.
By default, layouts in the folder hierarchy are also nested, which means they wrap child layouts via their layouts in the By default, layouts in the folder hierarchy are also nested, which means they wrap child layouts via the children prop. You can nest layouts by adding layout inside the specific route. For example, to create a layout for the blog route, add a layout. But is it gonna, Samuel, do you know that if we specify the layout here, is it gonna render this layout and then render this layout inside of, as a child of this layout, and then finally render the page? It's gonna be nested like that? Or can I specify this layout and make it only use this layout and not the outer layout? Okay, what I was saying is when we specify the layout here, will it render the layout, the parent layout as well? So it'll render this layout, then this as a child, and then finally my page. Will it do that? Are you still in the ad? How can I make it only render this layout though? Okay, I'm getting some funny comments on my last one. My last video. Okay, so it's gonna use this layout, but not actually this layout. Yeah. If you were to combine the two layouts above. Oh no, my question is, what tech stack am I using? Next.js and Vercel. You can use the link component to navigate between routes. The link is a built-in Next.js component that extends the HTML A tag to provide prefetching and client-side navigation. For example, to generate a list of blogs. Yeah. But Samuel, what if I just want to only render app blog layout and not this one? Pretend this layout has a nav bar, but for some reason in my specific page I don't want the nav bar showing, so I want to only specify this one. Is there a way to specify to not show the nav bar for a specific page? How do you do that? Using params? Okay. But by default, it's going to render the nav bar, right? No matter what, if my nav bar is in layout. I see. Okay. Oh, okay. So you look at the params in this one, and then you render the nav bar conditionally. I see. Okay. Nice to know. Nice to know. You can use the link component to navigate between routes. What kind of the params come out of the box here that are interesting to us? So let's look at root layout. Like what comes here? I'm assuming there's some, it gets all the props too, right? Like we have access to all the props at that point. So pretend in top videos here. Where we go. Any of the ones that use a component underneath. Sorry, probably page here. Pretend we're rendering this channel overview. And we're getting this analytics. The layout also gets analytics, right, as a prop here. Sam? Go. It's the other way around. I see. Okay. I don't understand exactly what you mean there, but I see. I see. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Okay, nice. This is simple stuff of layouts and pages. That all makes sense. That's kind of stuff that I already understood by just reading the code. But let's move on into the next part. Images. The Next.js image component extends the HTML image. I don't think I need to care about this right now, honestly. Okay, let's look at the fonts real quick. The next font module automatically optimize your fonts and removes external network requests for privacy. It includes a built-in self-hosting for any font file. Okay, I don't really care about font. I already enjoy the font that I have here. Wait, let me reply to some of my comments on my last YouTube video. Helps the algo. Hey everyone, so today we have a 16-year-old. You're only 16, right, Roy?
15.
Oh, you're 15? Okay, we got a 15-year-old coder. Can you give us quick background on yourself? We're gonna go. Let me go respond to these comments real quick. Hey everyone, so today thanks for hopping on the channel. Yo, this guy's a legend. Yo, what's up? Alberto. Yo, Samuel, thanks for hopping in. Yeah, go hang out with your fam. Do you have kids and stuff, or like you're talking about like your fam that you live with? But thanks for hopping in as always. Really appreciate your company and you hopping in and helping me and teaching me all about this stuff. Really appreciate it. Hope to see you around, and we're gonna do a collab soon when we do some like front end interviews on you because you're really good. Thanks for hopping on. Nice getting to know you. See you around. See you around. Just hit me up whenever. These are legit. Why did I say? Why did I say? You recommend reviewing data structures? I recommend working from topic to topic, mastering it, and then moving on to the next topic, and then build out your basics that way. So do arrays, build arrays from scratch, go to linked list, build linked lists from scratch, do a bunch of linked list questions, go to trees, do trees from scratch, then work on specific patterns like two pointers and do a bunch of two pointers, then do a bunch of sliding windows. So work data structure by data structure, then pattern by pattern, and then once you have foundations and you know all the basic patterns and algorithms and data structures, then you start going around and start doing random questions and trying to figure out if you could figure out the pattern, you could figure out what data structures to use. You suck at figuring out asymptotic runtime. I don't have any resources. It's all just practice. Honestly, there's only 6 runtimes that you really need to care about. Or let's count them. Constant, logarithmic, O-van squared, which is quadratic. What else? Yeah, then pretty much after that, then there's just weird exponential ones and factorial ones. So it's like, I don't think there's much that you really need to understand there. Where are you based and where are you interviewing for? Where's your internship? Hey everyone, so today this dude's going savage. But I need you to grab something.
But we can't visit the same cell twice, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are the different
Um,
options with this grid? Well, we can pick 6. We can do 6, 8, 7. That'll yield us 23 gold or 21 gold. Or we can go 6, 8, 5. Or we can go 6, 8, 9. Right?
mhm.
Or we can go like just 6, 8. Or we can start at 8, 7, 8 and then go to 7, 8. Like, but pretty much we have to go one path and we can't visit the same node more than once.
Okay. Um, so the first things that's coming to my head is basically a DFS approach.
Mm-hmm.
So, since I can start from any path, any cell, I would first loop through each cell and then do a DFS on
Uh-huh.
that cell, and then basically I would call the function on the neighbor cells and then pick the maximum it returns. And since I can't revisit visit the cell more than once, I think I'll use the vector array.
I don't know if I care about fonts. Let's talk about Next.js provides several ways to use CSS in your application, including CSS modules, global CSS, external style sheets, Tailwind. I just use Tailwind. CSS modules locally scope CSS by generating unique class names. This allows you to use the same class in different files without worrying about naming collisions. To start with using CSS modules, create a new file with the extension module.css and import it into any component. I see. Okay. Global CSS. You can use global CSS to apply styles. How's the workload? Sorry. Honestly, not that bad so far. It's honestly not that bad. But I just literally just started. So they're going to give me some time to ramp up, learn the code base. I mean, this is kind of what happens with every job. You sort of start up and the workload's not high. But honestly, when I started working at my last company, the workload just ramped up like crazy right away. So I'm actually already finished 3 weeks. So I'm having a good time, honestly. I have no complaints about it so far. Recommend it to anyone who like has an interview or is looking at an offer. I would definitely recommend it. Any tips for onboarding into a new company ASAP? I would say, yeah, finish onboarding ASAP. People say take your time onboarding. I would say take your time, but don't try to stretch it. Because for me, I just want to operate at a decent and fast pace. Fast pace. So usually I try to finish onboarding faster than they would expect me, and usually I try to finish projects faster than they would expect me as well. My project's on the CI. is on. I'm going to Amazon. They're using their own tech stack. Same thing at Meta. They use their own tech stacks too. But honestly, there's parallels between all tech stacks. Like the foundations are still going to be the same across anything you do. Understand the underlying principles. Okay, I'm using literally Tailwind. How to use server. Okay, we're getting to a juicy part. Yeah, I'm learning Next.js from scratch while building my site. So usually when I try to learn new technologies, I just literally just try to build something. I don't want to spend time reading the docs. So I sort of built this whole thing without even reading the docs. But now I'm going back to and reading the docs and kind of understanding where everything's at. By default, layouts and pages are server components, which lets you fetch data and render parts of your UI on the server, optionally cache the result, and stream it to the client. When you need interactivity or browser APIs, you can use client components to layer in functionality. This page explains how server and client components work in Next.js and when to use them, with examples of how to compose them together in your application. Nice, this is beautiful. Now we're getting really into the meat of what Next.js offers, which is these server-side components. When to use server and client components. The client and server environments have different capabilities. Server and client components allow you to run logic in each environment depending on your use case. Use client components when you need state and event handlers. Lifecycle logic. Browser only APIs. Okay. Custom hooks. Use server components when you need to fetch data from databases or APIs close to the source. Use API keys, tokens, and other secrets without exposing them to the client. Reduce the amount of JavaScript sent to the browser. Improve the first contentful page paint. And stream content aggressively to the client. What's this? Okay, that makes sense. First contentful page. Yo, Fungus, thanks for tuning in. That's crazy. It's the first time you see me live. I'm always live. But thanks for tuning in. For example, the page component is a server component that fetches data about a post. The page component is a server component that fetches data about a post. It passes it as props the like button, which handles the client side interactivity. And the like button handles actually them liking it. How do server and client components work in Next.js? Fungus, which video of mine did you first see when you were introduced to my channel? On the Next server, Next.js uses React's APIs to orchestrate rendering. The rendering work is split into chunks by individual route segments and pages. Server components are rendered in a special data format called the React Server Component Payload. Client components and the RCS payload are used to pre-render HTML. I see. Where are you from in Europe? I'm gonna visit Europe too soon. Nice. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. The RCS payload is a compact binary representation of the rendered React server components tree. It's used by React on the client to update the browser's DOM. The RSC payload contains the render result of server components. Oh, you're from Poland? There's so much people from Poland hopping into this channel these days. There's a few people from the other day, from yesterday, from Poland, who was in the chat talking in the chat. What is the RSC payload? Is a compact binary representation of the rendered React server components tree. It is used by React on the client to update the browser's DOM. The render result is server components, placeholders for where the client component should be rendered. I see. Yo, this framework is probably super complicated to build. On the client side. On the client, HTML is used to immediately show a fast, non-interactive preview of the route to the user. RSC is used to reconcile the client and server component trees. JavaScript is used to hydrate the client components and make the application interactive. What is hydration? Hydration is React's process for attaching event handlers to DOM to make the static HTML interactive. Yo, thanks for tuning in. What kind of content do you like to see on my channel that I should keep doing? And what are some things that you think that I should do? I'm always looking for new things that I should do. Farzan, yes sir. Farzan, have you already read this thing top to bottom? Nice. Does it actually help you? Farzan, do you like to read the documentation before you start a job or when you're first ramping up? Yeah, I like reading the docs too. Nice. Examples using client components. You can create client component by adding the use client directive at the top of the file of your imports. Use client is used to declare a boundary between the server and client module graph trees. Once a file is marked with use client, all of its imports and child components are considered part of the client bundle. This means you don't need to add the directive to every component that is intended for the client. Reducing JS bundle size. To reduce the size of your client JavaScript bundles, add use client specific interactive components instead of marking large parts of your UI. Large parts as client components. For example, the layout component contains mostly static elements like a logo and navigation links, but includes an interactive search bar. Is interactive and needs to be client component. However, the rest of the layout can remain server component. Okay, that makes sense. Passing data from server to client components. You can pass data from server to client components using props. Yep, that's just regular JavaScript or a regular React at that point. So takes in the likes and the numbers. Alternative, you can stream data from the server server component to a client component with the use hook. Yeah, do you use AI a lot? Honestly, I'm still an OG developer that has to read the docs, has to understand the stuff, but I'm also not scared to spam AI. From a server using the use hook. I see. Props passed to client components need to be serializable. Okay. This is my strategy for using AI. First, I literally understand that I try not to use AI when I'm first trying to understand something, but if I already understand something deeply, I just use AI and just try to go full pedal to the metal because it does help you move faster. Codevolutions. Is that a YouTube channel? Codevolution. Wow, I'm gonna check them out. Yo, this guy's going crazy, dropping so much content. I appreciate people who drop all these content because these are so hard to do. Some of these concepts, they're so hard to teach. Even teaching lead code, which I've done for so many years, it's hard for me to make videos on it. Okay, I'll watch him and try to understand. I'm trying to learn better videography too. Since client code calls the server function over the network, any arguments passed will need to be serializable. Here are some support types for server function arguments. String number, big int, boolean, iterables contain. These are not serializable. Okay, whatever that means. That means we can't pass as props that. I don't know. You can pass server components as a prop to a client component. This allows you to visually nest server rendered UI within client components. data science diploma is good enough instead of computer science to get a job at FANG. I honestly don't know what the recruiters are actually looking for and how to get an interview. It's pretty random. It's pretty hard to. I know people who can get that with really good can't get an interview with good resumes, and I've seen people get the job fresh out of college with no resume and no internships. It's like it's so random. Honestly, I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know how they're. I don't know how to land that interview. A common pattern is to use children to create a slot in client component. For example, a card component that fetches data on the server inside a modal. Inside a modal component that uses to toggle visibility. Yeah, I saw. I have your website out right here. Yo. John, I'm sending you an invite. Input. Output. Then in the parent server component page, you can pass in a cart as a child. Okay. You pass. What? Okay, interleaving server and client components. This guy a mod? John's a mod on my thing? I did not. Or what's this? The tool thing. You can pass server components as a prop to a client component. This allows you to visually nest server rendered UI. Yo. Vibe tubing. This allows you to visually nest server rendered UI. Yo, Paul, you have dogs and stuff, right? Were you the one you have dogs and you're renting a full house up there? Dude, that's sick. What kind of dogs are they? John, turn on your video.
What's
Yo, your
up?
glare sucks. There's glare.
Oh, glare where?
Behind you, bro. What do you mean? You
Oh,
literally have like a crazy...
the mom and dad's house right now. God. They don't have a setup conducive to YouTube. Is this any better? Is this any better?
Yeah, it's better. Wait, let me get you on the screen.
Oh man. Holy. I was
Back to
on
work?
vacation for 3 weeks and then I had to just grind at work. What the heck happened there? Vibe tubing. Bro doesn't even know his own mods. Yo, I don't think the Peraltas have any brains, really.
Really? Who said that?
Me. I said that.
Somebody said that?
Paul's asking for my total comp.
Is your boss looking?
Oh man, I gotta keep that on the low.
Yo, what's it
Paul's
called?
asking all the right questions all the time, bro. It's just You have
Yo.
80,000 subs. I can't release that to that many people.
Yo, what's it called? Everyone could. John, say something. Just make sure.
Hello?
All right.
Hello?
Perfect. All right. So walk us through your website.
What do you want to know about it?
Or okay, what have you been working on?
Don't worry, John will DM me later. Oh man. Okay, I'm not releasing my net worth, my entire portfolio. There's stuff that you gotta keep private. My orientation,
Sexual
those type of stuff.
orientation?
Yeah, that type of stuff. My gender, I need to keep that private.
Weird.
Oh man, my mom's in the back saying stupid stuff too. The entire Peralta family became dumb because of one individual. That's all I have to say about that one.
Who's the individual?
You know who it is.
You?
I don't know if you could hear her in the back. She's
Yeah,
chirping.
I can. She's chirping.
She's always like that. What am I working on with my website? Let me pull up my Chat GPT. Right now I'm using Chat GPT as my project management tool. I used to have that little Jira board or whatever you called it,
Yeah.
but now I switched over to whatever this is. Could I share my screen or not?
Yeah. Sure. Share your screen.
How do I even do that?
How do you share your
Golly.
screen, bro?
Yeah, I'm literally out
What do you-
here.
At the bottom.
Come back to Calgary already, because this is not.
Yeah, I'll be back on Thursday.
Okay, perfect. Okay,
I'm learning Next.js right now. This is
I'll sleep at the
crazy.
other house. Why are you learning Next.js? Just Node.js with Vite. That's the
What?
meta.
Node.js and Vite? Nah. Next.js is. I
I can't even
spin
share
out
my
app way
screen,
faster.
man. Really?
Yeah, it's way faster.
I tried Create React app. I hated it.
Dude, they deprecated that. You can't even use that no more, I thought.
Really?
Yeah, no one uses that no more.
Man. Present now. Oh man, if my API key gets released,
Bro, make a like
This is
.m
not good.
folder.
I do have a .n folder. It's just sometimes I just like having the API key in plain sight for everybody. Google Chrome would like to record this screen. Open system settings. What? Why would I want to record, bro? I just want to share.
So you can pass server components as a prop to a client component. What the heck does that mean? So there's a client component, it takes in a server component. Okay, I see. Oh, it's used children to create a slot in the client component. So for example, we have a modal and a cart. This is server side rendered. This guy's struggling to this guy can't even share his screen. 3 minutes trying to share the screen.
Okay, all right. I think I could share the screen now. Oh man,
Bro, you're getting cooked.
what are they saying? I'm a boomer?
Yeah, how are you taking forever?
Don't you know I use Teams at work? Like this
Bro.
is not my tech stack. I
That's
don't
even
use
worse.
Google Suite.
That's even worse.
Like man, this is literally embarrassing right now. What the heck?
That's even more embarrassing. They use Microsoft Outlook.
Man, people want to talk to me and I send them like I always been doing that. Turn on camera, turn off camera. Present now. Oh my
That is
god.
crazy. That took that long.
Holy. Okay, let me check. Share. All right. Could you see my screen now?
Wait, I'm gonna pop it out.
Oh god. The other thing is when you log onto my website, you literally dox yourself instantly.
Why?
Cuz like what's
Who
it
says
called?
your name?
Yeah, it says your name, login when you sign in with Google.
Dude, fix that.
How? It's a Google thing.
How did I pop this out? Now I'm being a boomer.
Oh, dang, you're about to hit like literally 100K.
Yeah, I'm gonna do.
You
Do
get
a part.
sharing your screen is a necessity for tech work. Oh man, in finance, literally we pass around pieces of paper with slides. James taking us all to Bali. I'm literally going to Bali probably in March.
Damn, you already got a ticket?
Yeah, it's already in the books.
Okay, let's
I
see
think
what
I'm
you're
gonna be
working on.
gone for 2 weeks. Oh, you can see my screen already. Enter picture in picture mode. All right. Okay. Can you see my screen or
Yes, let's
not?
see. Let's see.
Okay. So this website is basically a front end for
Wait, let me
all.
stop. Let me record a video here. I'm gonna post this. All right, start
Okay,
it.
okay. Hey everyone, John.
Wait, I'm doing the intro, bro. This is my channel.
Okay, man.
Hey, everyone. So John's gonna show off his website. JohnPeralta.com is coming to life. So he's been
Yeah.
getting me to post this. Wants some marketing. Wants drive some user engagement. He wants some feedback from the community because he loves community feedback. So yeah, show us what you built, what the tech stack is, everything.
Sure. So what I built so far is the front end scaffold for hosting all my equity research. So if you've been following my channel, I started coding about 6 to 7 months ago, and most of my coding journey has been centered around AI, learning LangChain, learning different frameworks to apply large language models. Um, I have a bunch of code that I run on my local machine, and I've built a bunch of reports that I keep private. Um, Moving into the future, I'm going to deploy all those scripts to build the equity research reports on the cloud, and then those reports will be directly hosted on this website, johnperalta.com.
I see. So you're gonna take those. So in the past, you built AI to build equity research reports, but those are all local. You want to put them on the cloud and serve it on your website for everyone
For
on the
everybody to
internet
see.
Nice. How are you charging people for it or not really?
Am I charging people for it? Yeah, I'm planning to charge. I'm
Typical
definitely planning.
finance guy
Oh
answer.
man, hold on. I definitely have to charge for this. Like I think uh for the free subscription. So I'll tell you about the features that I'm working on right
All right,
now.
go ahead.
So the first feature. So what I'm at, oh, it made me delete my GitHub or my cloud. But I have a bunch of different bots. Oh god, my API key got leaked instantly. No, it's not. Just it's just but yeah, so let me see. So I have like this chat with bro thinking about monetizing before he even got a project. I thought about the monetization before the project was even conceived. Like I think about profit first before the project. I don't Isn't that how you guys think?
No,
Like
I do
when
not
you
think like that.
like when you choose a degree, you don't think like, "Oh, what do I want to do?" You think about how much money I'm going to make after, and then you go into that major. I don't know. That's kind of how I did it. What you've listed and what it covers. So, the core functionality of my website is going to be like an automated daily brief for the global all cap portfolio. So, my investment style is all cap global investing. So, I don't just invest in Canada. I don't just invest in US. I invest in everything. So, I have a bot that pretty much gives me a brief every morning, similar to like a morning brew, similar to I don't know, I don't know if you know Morning Brew. There's
Yeah.
like Morning Brew,
Makes sense. It's just giving
um,
you a daily
yeah, for
brief of
sure,
what's going on.
right? And then another one that I have is I have a bot that, so I have a web scraping bot that finds earnings calls and then summarizes the earnings calls. And then I also have set up Paul's such a jokester, man. And then I set up like retrieval augmented generation on that earnings call. So, firstly, you have the summary of the earnings call, and then you have retrieval augmented generation to um, communicate with that earnings call.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that. So that's why I know you said it was weird layout, right? But on the left side here, that's where all the files are gonna be held. In the comment section, I want people to give feedback on, hey, um, in this report, it has an estimate of 203 to 306. Target price is 270. When I did my own discounted cash flow, I thought it was way less. Here's why. So I could even have the AI consider the community's comments to improve the report. Um, the AI chat is how I'll be implementing retrieval augmented generation on the report, right? So for example, like this report is huge. That's what she said. But like you would have, like, if you were to ask, hey, where do you think the growth rate is on the margin, it'll go into the AI chat for you instead of having to command F and do it. That's kind of what I was thinking with that. And then the next section is just the recommended. So if you read the Amazon research sample, you probably want to learn like Alibaba, Google,
Nice.
Baidu. And then of course I have a donate section and then a report a bug section. And then I'm gonna add another section for
What do you mean? Of course, you have a donate section.
of course I have a donate section. Do you think RAG is cheap? Do you think like building, like feeding entire earnings call into a into an AI to summarize it is cheap? It costs like $2 to $3 every time. Like I don't know how much tokens it is, but it's enough for me to just start begging for money.
Yo, Eric, congrats on your Yahoo offer and heard Friday Google's work on their first. Yo, appreciate you. Thanks for tuning
Nice.
in.
Nice.
Congrats, you did all the hard work.
Nice.
All right, don't worry, saying.
Now I'm reading Paul's comments. He has a lot. He's gonna do the 31 days of pandas too. Yeah, run it. Bro, thinking about Git playbook. Oh man. I definitely vibe coded so hard that my repo didn't work and I didn't know what git ignore was and I had node modules.
Wait, why are
in
you
the-
not showing
in
your
the
face?
up-
Share your face real quick.
Oh.
Turn on your camera.
Is it because I'm sharing my screen?
No. Or pop out, pop. Oh no, never mind. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know how it works. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. It's the website's the highlight of the show anyways.
Don't watch.
Oh god. Oh god. But yeah, what was I saying? But yeah, those are the main features of the website. And then I'm gonna have like a request a feature and report a bug. The next thing that I'm going to try to do is automate. So once I get all the features set up, so I have like my scripts running and populating the left side here with the all the scripts that I have and the web scrapes that I have. Wait, why is this annoying?
What's going
All
on?
the scripts that I have, I'm gonna start working on the comment section and the AI. That's why I set up the account so I can track how many requests you're sending to the AI and stuff like that.
I
That
see.
way I could throttle
You
people,
want
right?
to rate
'Cause-
limit people because it's
yeah, I
too
want to rate.
expensive.
Yeah, it's kind of expensive, and I use so some of my reports I use like I use LangChain to connect the report. So, for example, let's say I'm doing an earnings call. To summarize the earnings call, maybe I would use a Gemini Flash, right? If I want to get a deep dive on the earnings call, maybe I use like O3. That's kind of how I do it. And I think for the AI chat, I'm just gonna use Gemini 2.5 Pro. So it'll be like the most cutting edge model, in my opinion, because I've tested them all. That's just what I'm gonna do, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of how it's going so far. Did I vibe code most of the front end? For sure.
Okay. So what's your tech stack? What does the code look like? Show us your code.
You want to see the code?
Don't leave the API.
I so like the back end, so all of the LLM scripts and the web scraping scripts, they weren't vibe coded. They were just made by me because I know Playwright and all of that stuff, and that's kind of like I actually wanted to learn that stuff for work. So the Playwright, the pandas using like XLSX writer, all of that stuff was kind of me. The front end was basically like for sure AI generated. Um Okay, so what's the tech stack? The front end is React, Node.js, Vite,
React,
and then
Node.js,
the back end is just Firebase. And then so like the bots that generate the reports, so the scripts are on like a Google Pub Sub, and then with the Google Cloud Scheduler to put into a Firebase storage.
I see.
Yeah.
You vibe code
And
that
then
part too, or you actually just implement that?
I had to implement that one. For some reason it was hard, but like when you go into Google Cloud Console, they also have like an AI.
Okay,
So
that helps
it's
you
nice.
figure out
Yeah,
what's
that
going
helps
on.
you figure out like, okay, you go here, download this SDK. If it's not working, why isn't it working?
Yeah,
That type of thing.
I like that. I like that one. It's
Yeah,
nice when
I just don't wanna open it up to show everybody. It's
yeah,
just that's it.
you don't want to accidentally show your
Yeah, like I've set up Stripe, so I'm ready for that.
accept the payments.
Yeah, accept the payments. But yeah, so that's my so those are my three main things is just automate the briefings, do the earnings calls, um, and then start building bots for coverage. So the first stocks that I'm gonna cover are shout out to Alpha Code, Apple. I'm gonna do it by market cap because the availability of data is just higher for bigger market cap companies. So I'm gonna start with Apple, then I go to Microsoft, then Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, and then I'll start my coverage there for the AIs, and then
Damn, Apple's the highest weight there. It has the biggest market cap.
yep,
I didn't know that. Since when?
yeah. Since
Why is their market cap so high? That's
what do you
crazy.
mean? What do you mean? It's Apple.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone's. I know, but like I feel like that's been their bread and butter for like the last 15 years. They just keep making iPhones and Macs.
Have you seen the new iPhone? It looks bummy from the back.
And I'm
I don't know
surprised. I'm
about
surprised people keep, or that these other competitors are not cutting into their growth. But that's
man.
crazy.
So I was looking. So I think Tesla is gonna drop off the top 10 ASAP here.
Why?
When I was in China, I saw like I was trying the Xiaomi car and
Was
the
that the Waymo?
kinda. They also have a Waymo. They also have cars riding around Wuhan, Beijing, like driverless as well.
Wow.
And those cars are obviously like fine tuned for dodging scooters, dodging everything. So like they're gonna be better than the American version.
Bro, the
Like
Waymo is literally trained on like all those hills and tweaks all over the road, jumping on and people on
really?
scooters. Like,
Yeah, like those ones are nuts. But yeah, these are the companies I'll be covering initially.
okay, and then you're just
Um
hosting it all on. It's gonna be on your left navigation, right there. So
yeah, well these left navigation bars are just gonna be like all the different reports. So you could be like, hey, I want to talk about crypto now, and then when you talk about crypto, you could see like the comments for that specific what do you call it? For that specific report, and then you can set up an AI chat just to communicate with that report. And then again, like the AI chat already has the RAG preloaded. So you don't have to even, you don't like a big pain point for me when I use ChatGPT to analyze earnings calls is you have to like copy and paste the entire earnings call into ChatGPT. Then once you have the earnings call, then you can like kind of do the RAG on it. But even that is kind of not great, right? So that's really what will help me a ton, right? Because then I can really analyze earnings calls, and then eventually I'll like vectorize all of the earnings calls and like all of the reports after a while, and then have like a hedge fund or like a analyst type of AI look through all the reports that I made and all of the earnings calls that were analyzed, all the discounted cash flow reports that I was analyzing, and then use that to build me a portfolio that I'll probably do like a 50K portfolio that is managed purely by this AI. I think that's kind of like what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So then, because like on my channel, I have like 1K to 10K challenge, and then I'll also have like a 50K portfolio that's just purely managed by johnperalta.com. It'll tell me like, okay, based on this new report, increase the weight of this specific stock, right?
Yeah, makes sense. All right. You spent 15 minutes explaining it. We're going to open the floor for some feedback from the chat. Anything that you would like from any comments or thoughts on the website right now? What should he improve on?
The UI is disgusting.
The UI
Oh,
could be
man.
improved.
Yeah,
The
I
UI
could.
be improved.
That's not my bread and butter though. Like my bread and butter is like reading a report and then fine tuning the prompt, fine tuning the RAG, fine
Chad
tuning
is
the model
savage.
itself
Yeah.
to get the optimal
So you're gonna
report.
hire a UI engineer, front end engineer to optimize this thing.
Yeah, not one of these guys. I'm gonna give them like 3 lead code hards and pay them like what they deserve, $4.99 per hour. And that's $4.99, not $499.
Any other feedback? Paul, what do you not like about it though? Let's be constructive. Let's figure out exactly what he could improve here.
like what? Really, the AI chat?
Okay, the
The
slide
AI
bar.
chat?
Yeah, the slide
Wait.
bar, dude. That's like way out of style. That's not like you
That's
shouldn't
way
be
out of style?
You shouldn't be horizontally scrolling right there. That should either
Really?
come. That should either be like a left navigation or like a menu, but usually you don't want to do horizontal navs like that.
Okay.
It should Things shouldn't just horizontally scroll for you to see options like that. Like go on
Okay.
jamesperalta.com. Let's see the navigation there.
Like this?
So-
Like the top bar?
Or let me think. There's some that well
Maybe.
usually there's two ways to do navigation these days. There's the navigation. There's the top navigation, or you can have a side navigation there. The way that you're
Oh,
doing it.
make it a drop down on hover. I like that one.
Yeah, drop down on all the options there. Or you could just bring all those side menus, all those menus onto the side or something, onto the left. Instead of saying about Amazon behavioral, because that is going to get super long when you have more things.
Yeah. Right now it's kind of just like
Like, why don't you put all those to the left, the AI chat and stuff? Or I don't know. We'll see.
yeah, I don't honestly, front end is so annoying. I hate front end.
Okay, Paul's saying he doesn't like the fonts. It's hard to read, like white on gray. So maybe prompt the AI for better color schemes.
What?
More modern font.
Was it Alpha Code that made this joke? White screen, like coding on a white IDE, reading stuff on a white screen attracts bugs. What do you want? Like
Something
you
like
wanted
light-
a different
Light mode attack.
yeah, something like that. I don't want
You
that.
don't get it, that joke? 'Cause
I
Buggy
like
can't
no
do
no
it.
no. I subscribe to that joke.
I think the UI is fine to be honest. The MVP.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna spam the MVP though. The MVP.
Yeah, honestly, it's just spam the features, and if you want to rework it, we can figure that
Yeah,
out
that
too.
that's light work. Like hey, stuff like this, right? So for example, when I was making the chat sidebar, I spent like more than an hour making it so that like I can put a lot of context and it's easy to read, right? Like stuff like that. I don't even know about all that, right? Cloning, like I literally cloned what do you call it? I literally cloned I literally cloned iMessage,
Yeah, it looks like iMessage.
right?
It's kind of interesting.
I like iMessage
Yeah.
though.
He
But
he he
that's
works in private equity or real estate investing.
um
Go to the side. What's the recommended? Okay.
recommended.
What
That's
else?
just gonna be like
What else did everyone have? Any comments? Any thoughts? This is good. He likes the chat UI.
you like the chat UI?
Skewy, he's actually a CFA charter holder. He doesn't. He's a business side investor. He doesn't do. He's not a coder.
I'm not in tech. I'm a
He's not in tech,
non-technical.
but he's
This
getting
this
pretty technical.
I'm Excel. Oh
Was
man,
this
was this
vibe
vibe
coded?
coded? Yeah, like the front end is vibe coded, the back end is handwritten, handmade.
Okay, Alpha said, "Why are you so allergic to show the code?"
Why am I so allergic
He
to
said
show the
that.
code? Which code?
Dude, just show us how. Just show us how it's structured. What's like some of the things you built out here? So you have
Okay.
the app.
So I have the
Oh, you have so
app.tsx.
many comments. Okay, what does this app.tsx do?
This app.txx just pretty much is the front. Like the import, so I have a component, so I have React components
Okay,
for the
remove
left.
the thing quick, the chat on the side, so we
Oh,
can
this.
see the code. Yeah, nice. Thank you. Nice.
Wow. Those are the manners I taught you as a kid. Let me see here. But yeah, so it's just an app. So I have a component for the left sidebar, component for the markdown viewer, the component for the right sidebar. The reason why I wanted to have uh what do you call it? So the reason why I have a markdown viewer is the other thing too. Why I have this thing is eventually I'm not sure how, but within the UI, I'm gonna be able to. Okay, so I want to see the equity research report, and then I want to see the equity research model. I want to see the DCF. I want to see the comparables valuation, stuff like that. Somehow on the on the top bar, right? I think that's gonna be really cool. And then I've been experimenting with like XLSX writers, so you can probably like print out the markdown like to a PDF, and you can also download the full DCF model into an Excel file, and then you can modify the DCF yourself, right? So if you like think the assumptions are a little bit funky, you could
Makes sense. Let's
change
see the code.
the
Let's see the code.
you can change the stuff yourself, right? Um,
What is the use state?
where's that?
Line 18.
Line 18.
What is that?
Um,
What is use state?
let me take a look. Okay, the use state is just populating the left side here. It's just populating. So I have a bunch of markdown files hosted in Firebase. So the left sidebar just uses this to like take all of the
I'm asking, what does the use state do? Like, what is it?
use state.
Yeah. Look at Skewy. He's saying this is the most useful thing in React. You gotta know that.
The use state is basically just telling you like what to render on the left sidebar. Is that That's from my understanding. Like for example, like so use state. So for example, I have an account, right? So when I'm logged out, it says logged in. When I'm logged in, it says account. It just uses the state to pretty much tells what to render.
Okay. What does the use effect do?
What's the use effect do?
Yeah.
That stuff I honestly don't
Okay.
know.
So
Yeah.
basically, use state is just how you manage state in the application, right? So
Am I not saying it right? Like is
well,
is is like
well,
being logged in and being logged out not a state?
well. What is state? State is different than because you can have a static website. Back in the days, websites were literally just static, where you
Yeah.
show the whole HTML and you have to write everything in the HTML.
Yeah.
But now you could dynamically render. So the
Yeah.
the dynamic content, if you want to store any data in your component, you could store it in state, and then you could like modify that data. You can pull that data from an API, and that's more
Yeah.
dynamic, and you can use that dynamic state to like change, like render different things on the view and make the view more dynamic,
Uh
kind of thing.
yeah. Nah. I'm gonna have to take that away for after all the features are released and the website's bug free. I'll learn what use state is and stuff like that for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy how you got all this
What?
done still.
Yeah. What else did you want to know?
So you have this
Alpha Code
app.
Alpha Code had a comment about Firebase. I pretty much use Firebase because like I get like $300 to $400. That's why.
Okay, so
Really.
we're and let's look at some of your APIs. Unless you have your keys showing.
Nah, I can't show those. Yeah, no, I can't show that stuff. I can't. I
Why?
really cannot show that.
Why? The keys are just.
Sometimes the keys are variables or directly plugged in. Oh man. Oh
Okay,
man.
let me look at your setup though.
I need to set up. I need to figure out how to rotate keys and stuff like that. My setup for what?
No, like
So
you have the
I
app. I want to see your folder structure. Okay, using Vibe.
okay. Okay, hold on.
Usually when you vibe code it, oh yeah, like dude, at the very top right or up there near the folder, you can like collapse everything.
Oh, where is
move to the
that?
right. Move to the right. There,
Yeah.
that thing that collapses everything.
Oh, geez. I don't even know the word. So the other funny thing is I use Cursor and Windsurf at the same time.
You got ADHD for sure.
I use Windsurf and Cursor at the same time on two different repos. Because I also have like APIs that like I also have like so my bots that I run on a daily basis using the pub sub, I can also trigger them with HTTPS
Bro, we
and all
want to
of
see
that
this
stuff.
cool pub sub and stuff. You gotta
Oh
actually
man,
fix up
okay,
your
yeah,
backend
yeah.
at some
I'll
point.
figure out
Yeah,
that
okay.
backend
We'll
stuff.
do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for just showing the website though. Fix up your code. You can even vibe code this, and we want you to do like a deep dive of your code so we can teach people how it all works.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Like how
so
to vibe code?
not how to vibe code, but how your website works.
Oh,
I think
okay,
everyone
yeah.
knows how to vibe code.
No, I
It's just
don't
like
think
not
anybody
everyone knows
knows.
how to do it well. Actually, yeah,
Yeah, I
maybe.
don't. I think. How do you remember when Fortnite was like popping off, 2018?
Yeah.
People were learning about like ramp wall rushing, which double pump plus SMG, doing 90s. I feel like tech is at that point where the meta, so the most effective tactics available to get stuff done, is changing at such a rapid rate. If you're using like the old tactics, you're just gonna get cooked by the new people using like meta weapons, right? And meta weapons are like ChatGPT, Cursor, Windsurf, GitHub Copilot, modifying the code base with two different AIs. Like, I'll show you some insane stuff. Like, what do you think this is? Tell me what you think about how I prompt engineer the IDE's tasks. Do you want to see that?
Sure.
Um,
Claude 4 drop. CFA, what are your thoughts?
honestly, they're all the same. So like oh my god, my email came out. But like Windsurf has what do you call it? Right now, Windsurf GPT 4.1 is 0.25 token 0.25 requests per like you get 4 times the request per one what do you call it? Credit. So I'm using Windsurf right now. Cursor is nice too, but if I was working on Firebase integrations or cloud integrations or like working with the SDK for Google, obviously I'm using Gemini, right? If GPT is the cheapest, I'm gonna default to that and then only default to Gemini after. I don't really do like the Claude or I don't really do any of the more advanced models. I don't know.
I see.
I never ever felt like, oh, Claude 3.5 Sonnet just is better than GPT 4.0. Like I'm really more of a cost guy. But yeah, I'll show you how I make prompt for the IDE, right? So I come up with a user story. So the user shall be able to do this, identify the functional requirements to get it done, summarize it into into different tasks, implement the code to complete the task, and then the fifth step is make sure that what you did actually works, right? So like all my prompts into the IDE has those um five main features. And then that's how I get the most out of a prompt.
Wait, go back?
Yeah.
Wait, let's see.
Do you want to see the prompt? Is this how you vibe code?
I don't really vibe code it. I literally turned off the cursor freaking autocomplete. She was
Oh
annoying me.
no. Oh no. Oh man.
It depends. I vibe coded my website. It depends on what I'm trying to do. Right.
But yeah, this is like how I do it. So again, get a user story. Take that user story, break it down into functional requirements, have the AI identify the task to complete those functional requirements, and then implement the code. And then the last step is asserting that it is done through testing.
I see.
Paul, you're gonna have to actually convince people to trust you with money, though.
Yeah. All right. So what's it called? Thanks, John, for showing us. You should fix up the code. I'm gonna go watch the Knicks game at a bar. Might come back
man.
wasted, but when I come back, I'm gonna be running mock interviews and giving people coding advice.
Oh man.
So you should hop on that if you're free.
Yeah.
We can hop
I'll have
at the same time.
Paul's a trustworthy guy. Paul, what's in your investment portfolio? Let me ask that guy. What do you think about the market right now? Where do you think it's going? If I were to give you 100K, what's the move? Wasted mocks would go crazy. Drunken master style, man. Alpha code also. Paul has to go on there. A bunch of dude, you know what would be sick? Like a panel interview. Like a panel interview with just a bunch of wasted people. And then
What, mock interviewing someone?
yeah,
roasting them on
yeah, yeah, and the person that's getting mock interviewed is also drunk. That'd be lit. Maybe we'll run that
I don't even know
in
if that's
person.
gonna pass the freaking.
We'll run.
Yeah.
Maybe we will run that in person. Like me, you, Pat, Paj, a couple people.
That'd be fun.
No, Eric, man, don't play with that. That's
I'm gonna
bad
go get
for
ready
you.
for the next game. Thanks for sharing your code.
All right,
See, go
peace
back to
out.
www.johnperalta.com. Gonna do one last plug. All right, everyone, go log in and sign up to johnperalta.com. Do you track all the people signing up and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay,
Firebase does that.
Firebase does that.
I think I have like 11
Wow.
people right now.
Dude, that's
But
sick.
4 are myself, 4 are my girl, and one's you, and one's
Oh, I
my
already
test
logged
account
in?
or something.
That's
Yeah,
sick,
yeah.
man.
Yesterday when you logged in, I saw you got
I see.
registered.
Nice. Everyone
Hey,
says
shout
best
out.
of luck,
Peace,
John.
Eric.
All right, thanks
Okay.
for sharing.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Cook this thing up even more.
Yeah, I'll cook it
Show
up
us.
even
We
more.
need a code deep dive, dude. Just you can even ask Cursor to explain you the code, so you can when we were doing the
No,
code
I'm
deep
not gonna
dive, you
waste
can,
tokens on that.
bro.
I'm gonna spend tokens on
The tokens are
on
free.
honestly, this is my thing, right? How much time do you have?
I have like a couple more minutes.
Okay, you have a couple more minutes. Let me
You can talk philosophy.
yeah, my philosophy, right? Um let me see if I could find it. You're gonna laugh at this one. Um I think this one is gonna show my how do I say this? Um my
Bro,
philosophy on how to vibe code.
yeah,
But I want to learn to
bro.
prompt like
Collapse
I
your
yeah,
left
yeah.
screen. All it
This is
shows
this
is
is what
you
I asked
prompting it for
ChatGPT, right?
how Git works. It's like
This
10 different.
this is I want to learn how to prompt so well that I never have to code. That's a powerful ambition, and it's becoming more possible every day. You're essentially aiming to replace 90% of traditional coding with natural language interfaces, reserving code only for precision, performance, or cost reasons, right? So, um, really, I'm actively out here. Paul, man, I'm trying. I vibe code so hard that I need to protect my code base with Git. What can I say about that? All right. But yeah, so I'm literally trying to spend 10, like out of a 10-hour session, I want to vibe code less. Um, oh, I'm not getting anything here. But I literally had like that's my philosophy. I want to code. I want to get so good at prompting that I never have to code.
I see.
And
That's a good
I
ambition.
think I think that's the meta, right? I'm like a non-technical founder. Like why would I spend money, like why would I spend time and energy on technical stuff when I don't have to, right? Um it's just but yeah, so I prompt to build and then I prompt to automize and then I code to save compute costs or increase control. So there's some things that I have to do with code. Like for example, the scripts that I write to do the web scraper, it's hard to get AI to do it, honestly. Like you kind of have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's my philosophy though. I I really want to step away from tutorials. I really want to step away from even opening the text editor. I just want to have the chat open, and if it works, it works. And honestly, like what's so bad if you vibe code a website and then you vibe code the unit test? What's so bad about that? FDK. So my web scraping is all Playwright. Playwright, Scrapey, and Traffilatura is like my main. It works until it doesn't.
This guy's a Microsoft engineer. This troll tall guy.
It works until it doesn't, and then that's why I mastered Git, right? Go back to the same ancestor and then redeploy that.
Ancestor
The
branch.
Yeah, the same ancestor branch or whatever, right? Um, yeah, I have like
Commit.
I definitely have a Git playbook. Like, hey, this is what I study on the plane, right? Like, okay, if I accidentally screw up, okay, I have this is my main. I make a new branch, Git switch, open a branch, spam AI to the point where it breaks, or if it doesn't break, get switched to another branch. Post windsurf, I know how to do a hard reset, and then I have a new stable branch. That's kind of my thought about it. Is it's like it's really freestyling.
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be a huge beef. Like, back in like 2003 when Allen Iverson was cooking the entire NBA, people were like, "Man, this guy has no coaching. Like, he didn't really play basketball the way that everybody learned basketball through structure. He was playing on the streets, and then he was cooking the whole NBA. I'm trying to carve my own path like AI did back in 22
Nice.
years ago. So
Respect.
I want more hate. I want it all, right? There is no practice. I'm not gonna practice.
Okay, last question from Paul. John, for work and personal, do you invest more long-term stable growth or high EV, high variance stuff?
For work, we buy properties to never sell. And then in my personal life, I also buy investments to never sell, except like, I don't know, like sometimes you have to sell them because there's better investments out there, so you want to free up some cash. But I'm always like a long-term person until there's a better long-term option.
Nice. Cool. All right, johnperalta.com. He's going to launch Peralta AI soon. We're going to train Peralta LLM at one point. We're going to hire like 20 engineers to train the Peralta large language model. That's coming soon. But,
Oh man, Paul's so joke. 70% long-term stable assets and 30% YOLO. Nah, like what's a 30% YOLO? Like watches, cars. I think like the best way to do it is like 80% like your stock portfolio has to be like solid, and then the 20% should be like physical things that you could rock. Like it for me personally, let's say you have a portfolio of 100,000, right? And you're saying, okay, I want to have 80% equity and 20% YOLO. The YOLO for me will be like gold chains, gold watches, stuff that I could rock in real life. And then that's YOLO to me. Like, it doesn't make sense for me to have like a gold ETF that I can't even like what am I gonna do? Print out the print out my stock position and wear it on a badge. It's not even lit. Yeah, I don't know.
all right. Sounds good, John. I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to post this on maybe like CFA charter holder shows off his vibe coded website or something like that.
Oh man.
Or some.
But yeah, I think I could vibe code. Like, I'm a 99th percentile vibe coder, I would say.
Bro, wait till Philip shows his vibe coded website. He went crazy.
I want to see his thing, man. I want to see his thing.
He's
What do
a
you
vibe
think?
coder too.
Okay, let me.
Crazy.
What do you think
he's
about
even a
vibe
bigger
coding? Man?
vibe coder. He's a bigger vibe coder advocate than you, bro.
Really?
Yeah, he was vibe.
Really?
He was pitching me vibe coding for like a whole year now.
Dude, I got into coding with vibe coding though.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
like people. I was like, that Bane quote. You were born. I was born in the dark. You adopted it. I was literally born vibe coding. I was literally born vibe coding, and then I had like what do you call it when you feel like a fraud, right?
Imposter
Like
syndrome?
yeah, imposter syndrome. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna start learning lead code. And then I got to the point where I can answer lead code questions, and then I was like, man, I should have been vibe coding this whole time. That's who I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all right.
All right, man.
Okay, have fun at the game.
Got you, bro. Peace. I'm
Okay,
dropping
peace.
this probably tomorrow or something. Thanks for
All right.
pulling up.
Okay. Peace. How do you even log off this?
Bro,
Oh,
this
man.
guy can't even leave the.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Peace.
Okay.
I'll see you on Thursday. Peace.
Wait, are you hopping on the call tonight? We might do some stuff.
Yeah. Call me and then I'll
we'll
hop
see.
on.
Yeah, okay. Peace.
All right.
Ask GPT how to leave.
Oh man, that's
You
a
guys are
waste.
Trolling you.
Dude, when you use cursor in windsurf, every prompt counts, man. That's my approach. But all right, Kate,
Okay,
peace out.
bro. Peace. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. We made some progress on this next stuff. We're gonna continue, but then we had some fun conversations, so we're gonna continue with this on the next one. Gonna continue building out JamesPeralta.com. That's the plan. I'm gonna go watch this Knicks game, and I'll be back for more coding interviews tonight. Don't mind me if I'm a little tipsy, but thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all like always for hopping in and supporting the channel and being engaging and being fun, roasting my brother, giving him proper feedback on his website. This is all important stuff. He's trying to really make it with this website, so he appreciates all the feedback he can get. That guy's trying to build some stuff, so I'll see y'all in the next stream, probably in a few hours. Peace out.